Our next story is about a major escalation in Yemen's long-running conflict, one that is now openly straining relations between two key Gulf allies, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. Saudi Arabia has carried out airstrikes on the Yemen port city of Mukalla in the eastern province of Hadramaut, saying it targeted a weapons shipment meant for a separatist force backed by the UAE. Well, the strike comes at a time of heightened instability across the Red Sea, and days after Riyadh warned the southern separatist group against making military moves in the province. Mukalla has recently fallen under a separatist group's control, the Southern Transitional Council, or STC. Well, the city lies about 480 kilometers northeast of Aden, which has served as the base for anti-Houthi forces since the Houthis took over the capital, Sana'a, in 2014. The STC, formed in 2017, is allegedly backed by Abu Dhabi. It demands autonomy or full independence for the south of Yemen, aiming to revive a separate South Yemen state that existed before unification in 1990. According to a statement from the Saudi-led coalition, 2 ships arrived in Mukalla from Fujairah, a major port city on the UAE's eastern coast, claiming that the ships had their tracking devices disabled and were unloading large quantities of weapons and armoured combat vehicles. Well, Saudi authorities said the weapons were destined for the STC, describing the shipment as an imminent threat to security and stability. Saudi Arabia said it conducted a limited airstrike to destroy the weapons.
The ship's crew had the disabled tracking devices aboard the vessels and unloaded a large amount of weapons and combat vehicles in support of the Southern Transitional Council's forces. Considering that the aforementioned weapons constitute an imminent threat and an escalation that threatens peace and stability, the Coalition Air Force has conducted this morning a limited airstrike that targeted weapons and military vehicles offloaded from the 2 vessels in Mukalla.
Well, the strike was carried out overnight, with Riyadh saying the timing was chosen to avoid civilian casualties. So far, there's no confirmation of deaths or injuries. Meanwhile, the UAE has not issued an official response. But Yemen's anti-Houthi authorities declared a state of emergency, announcing a 72-hour closure of border crossings, airports and seaports in areas under their control, except for movements approved by Saudi Arabia. Well, this is not the first warning from Riyadh. Just days earlier, Saudi airstrikes targeted STC positions in a warning to separatists to halt their advance and withdraw from Hadramaut and Mahra. All of this is putting pressure on Saudi-UAE ties, who are partners in OPEC and regional security, yet increasingly at odds over influence in Yemen and beyond. With similar rivalries playing out in Sudan, where the Kingdom and the Emirates support opposing forces in that country's ongoing war. Well, with growing tensions across the Red Sea, the strike on Mukalla only signals a more volatile phase ahead.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 do idioma.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all 3 just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.